Asterisk, the late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the cobblestone square as William Hartford adjusted his tailored suit jacket and glanced at his watch. Another board meeting concluded, another deal negotiated, another day measured in quarterly reports and profit margins. At 58, he had built an empire from nothing. But today felt heavier than most. Asterisk, he walked slowly toward the ice cream vendor, drawn by a memory of simpler times. The colorful cart reminded him of the one from his childhood neighborhood, where summers lasted forever and a quarter could buy pure joy. Now he could buy the entire franchise without thinking twice. Yet that simple pleasure felt impossibly distant. Asterisk, as he approached, he noticed her immediately. A little girl, perhaps 6 years old, stood before the vendor with perfect posture and an old-fashioned pink dress that seemed too formal for an ordinary Tuesday. Her blonde hair was neatly braided, and she clutched a small purse with both hands. Asterisk, I'm sorry, sweetheart, the vendor was saying gently. You're about $2 short. Asterisk, the child's shoulders sagged slightly, but she maintained her composure with a dignity that struck William as remarkable. She looked up at the vendor with clear blue eyes and said simply, "Thank you anyway, sir." Asterisk, without hesitation, William stepped forward. "I'll cover it," he said, pulling out his wallet, "and one for myself as well." Asterisk, the vendor smiled and began preparing to cones. William glanced down at the little girl, who was studying him with curious eyes. Asterisk, "Thank you, mister," she said softly, "but I should pay you back somehow." Asterisk, William chuckled, a sound that felt rusty from disuse. "Consider it a gift." "What's your name?" Asterisk, "Emma," she replied, accepting the ice cream with both hands. "What's yours?" Asterisk, "William." "Are you here with your parents, Emma?" Asterisk, she shook her head, licking her ice cream thoughtfully. "My grandmother is at the doctor's office across the street. She said I could wait here and watch the people." She gestured toward a bench beside the fountain. "Would you like to sit? You look tired." Asterisk, the observation surprised him. When had he last looked in a mirror and seen anything other than success? Yet this child saw something he hadn't noticed himself. Asterisk, they settled on the bench together, an unlikely pair. William found himself relaxing for the first time in months, watching Emma eat her ice cream with careful, deliberate bites, savoring each taste. Asterisk, "Do you have children?" Emma asked, her voice carrying the innocent directness that only children possess. Asterisk, "I have a daughter," William said, his voice softening. "Her name is Sarah. She's grown up now, with children of her own." Asterisk, "Do you see her often?" Asterisk, the question hit him unexpectedly. When had he last seen Sarah? Really seen her, not just exchanged pleasantries at obligatory family gatherings. "Not as often as I should," he admitted. Asterisk, Emma nodded, as if this made perfect sense. "Grown-ups are always busy. My daddy was very busy too, before he went to heaven." Asterisk, William felt his chest tighten. "I'm sorry, Emma." Asterisk, "It's okay. He taught me that love doesn't disappear. It just changes shape, like how water becomes clouds, but it's still water." Asterisk, they sat in comfortable silence, watching the world move around them. A mother pushed a stroller, speaking softly to her baby. An elderly couple walked hand in hand, their steps perfectly synchronized after decades together. A group of teenagers laughed over shared earbuds, their youth radiating possibility. Asterisk, "You know," Emma said, setting down her empty cone. "You remind me of someone." Asterisk, "Oh, who's that?" Asterisk, "My daddy. He used to wear suits like yours, and he always looked serious. But when he hugged me, his whole face would change, like the sun coming out from behind clouds." Asterisk, William studied her small face, struck by the wisdom in her words. "Your daddy sounds like a good man." Asterisk, he was. He used to say that the most important thing wasn't how much money you made, but how much love you gave away. She paused, then looked directly at him. "Do you hug your daughter, William?" Asterisk, the question hung in the air between them. William thought about Sarah, about the formal kisses on cheeks at holidays, the careful distance they maintained. When had they stopped embracing? When had love become so complicated? "Not enough," he said quietly. Emma stood up and brushed off her dress. "My grandmother will be done soon. I should go wait by the door." Asterisk, William stood as well, reluctant to end this unexpected encounter. "Emma, wait." Asterisk, she turned back, her expression expectant. Asterisk, I want to give you something, he said, reaching for his wallet again. Asterisk. Oh, the ice cream was plenty. Really, asterisk. No, not money. He paused, understanding something he hadn't before. I don't know what I was thinking. What could I possibly give you that would matter? Asterisk, Emma smiled, a radiant expression that transformed her entire face. I don't need money, William. I just need a hug like your daughter gets. Asterisk, the words stopped him cold. Like his daughter gets. But Sarah didn't get hugs from him. Not real ones. Not the kind that change your whole face, that make the sun come out from behind clouds. Asterisk, without another word, William knelt down and opened his arms. Emma stepped into them immediately, wrapping her small arms around his neck. He held her close, feeling her warmth, breathing in the scent of strawberry shampoo and childhood innocence. Asterisk, and in that moment, something shifted inside him. The armor he'd worn for years, the careful distance he'd maintained from everyone, began to crack. This little girl, who had lost her father, who waited patiently while her grandmother sought medical care, who faced the world with grace and wisdom, she had seen through to the heart of what mattered. Asterisk, when they finally separated, Emma looked up at him with knowing eyes. That's better, she said simply. You look different now. Asterisk, William touched his face, surprised to find his expression had indeed changed. Thank you, Emma, for reminding me of something important. Asterisk, what's that? Asterisk, that love isn't something you earn or buy. It's something you give away freely, and somehow you end up with more than you started with. Asterisk, Emma grinned. My daddy would have liked you, William. Asterisk, a woman emerged from the medical building across the street, a walking stick. She spotted Emma and waved. Asterisk, that's my grandmother, Emma said. I have to go now. Asterisk, Emma, William called as she started to walk away. What's your last name? Asterisk, Patterson, she called back. Emma Patterson. Asterisk, William watched as she ran to her grandmother, who embraced her with obvious relief and love. They began walking slowly down the street, Emma's hand gently guiding her grandmother's elbow. Asterisk, standing alone by the fountain, William pulled out his phone. His thumb hovered over Sarah's contact information for a long moment before he pressed call. Asterisk, Dad? Sarah's voice carried surprise. Is everything okay? Asterisk, I'm fine, sweetheart. I was just thinking about you. Are you busy? Asterisk, well, I was just putting the kids to bed, but asterisk, could I come over? I know it's late notice, but I'd love to see you all. Asterisk, there was a pause. Of course. Dad, is something wrong? Asterisk, no, William said, looking once more in the direction Emma had gone. Something's right. For the first time in a long time, something's exactly right. Asterisk, an hour later, William stood on his daughter's doorstep, his tie loosened, his usual armor of formality set aside. When Sarah opened the door, her expression was cautious but hopeful. Asterisk, hi, Dad. Asterisk, hi, sweetheart. Asterisk, they looked at each other for a moment, years of careful distance between them. Then William opened his arms. I've missed you, he said simply. Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she stepped into his embrace. I've missed you too, Dad. Asterisk, as they held each other. William thought of Emma Patterson, of her wisdom about love changing shape but never disappearing. He thought of her father, who had understood that the most important thing wasn't how much you made, but how much you gave away. Asterisk, and he thought of second chances, of how a little girl with a pure heart could teach a successful man the most important lesson of all, that we are never too old, never too set in our ways, never too far gone to remember how to love. Asterisk, when they finally separated, Sarah was smiling through her tears. You look different, Dad. Asterisk, William smiled back, remembering Emma's words. I feel different, like the sun, coming out from behind clouds. Asterisk, come in, Sarah said, taking his hand. The kids are still awake, and they'd love to see their grandfather. Asterisk, as William crossed the threshold into his daughter's warm, lived-in home, he carried with him the gift Emma had given him. Not money, not success, not achievement, but something far more valuable, the reminder that love freely given is the only wealth that truly matters. Asterisk, outside. The evening settled over the city like a gentle blanket, and somewhere across town, A little girl named Emma Patterson was saying her prayers, grateful for ice cream, for kind strangers, and for the mysterious ways that love finds us when we need it most.